You are listening to a Beach Glass Media podcast.
Episode 35. And we're back with episode 35 of Sometime Podcast here at Beach Glass Media. Man, this is going to be a pretty big episode. It's going to be probably a lot of Valentine stuff. You know, we are still in February, technically, for another 3 hours. But, we've missed a lot. We're going to go over a bunch of lists, simple shout-outs, Mailman Stories. Andrew's got another There I Ruined It for us. I've got a couple quizzes of Valentine's-ish kind of stuff for Andrew. Of course, sometimes news, history with Jefe, jokes with Jefe. Same old, but we're going to throw in a lot of love into it too. But since I'm not that big of a Valentine's Day lover, we're going to call this one Marcelo's Heart of Mold. So let's see why we call it Heart of Mold on episode 35 of the podcast.
Episode 35, Marcelo. We are here.
Let's see just how moldy this cheese is.
I like how you brought your gospel voice again,
brothers and sisters.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. I was waiting for that because I kind of re-listened to our "Don't Drink the Kool-Aid" episode
again.
Kinda.
Okay.
Just to kind of remember what we talked about, and then we had that gospel-y music.
Oh yeah,
and then you did that.
Brothers and sisters, we are gathered here today.
And I'm like, why are you sounding like Foghorn Leghorn?
Now I say, you better sharp as a bowling ball.
I say, here, boy, listen to me. Listen, boy. I miss Looney Tunes, man.
Do you have Max? Do you have HBO Max?
No, I don't.
Because all of them are on there.
All of them?
All of them.
I'm missing out.
Yep, you are.
How you been, Marcelo?
I've been,
we haven't podcasted since what, like mid-January,
early mid-January, somewhere around there.
Yeah. That was our New Year's episode. We called it New Year's-ish.
Is that what it was? New Year's-ish?
Yeah. And people tuned into that one. I was surprised.
Oh.
I guess they really wanted you burping on my mics, man.
I burped, but something came up, so I was like, ugh.
Oh man, last time I bring you Coke Zero.
I know, right?
But, people were listening to New Year's-ish. People really liked our stuff. I think our fan base is growing. They really love our stuff.
About damn time.
And if you really do love our stuff, you can write to us and be featured on the Simple Times podcast in our segment called Simple Shoutouts. And guess what, Marcelo? We have a simple shout-out.
Is it my mom again?
It is your mom.
God damn it.
Hey. You should be saying thank you, Mother, for providing fodder for our podcast.
She provided some, I guess.
So, I was my phone was blowing up.
What'd she correct me on this time?
Oh no, she didn't correct me on anything. She just sent in a message on Instagram.
That's weird.
So, on Instagram, she, you know how you can send people videos. You share videos.
God, what if she recorded me doing?
No, she didn't record you doing nothing. She just shared something that probably tickled her fancies, and she wanted us to see it. And I think this is going to be interesting. Okay, so it's a video clip. Look, this is Simple Shoutouts, okay?
Okay.
Everyone has a chance to be on Simple Shoutouts. Just because your mom takes advantage of being on Simple Shoutouts doesn't make her a bad person. She's doing what we want our entire audience to do.
That whole fight or flight thing's kind of kicking in. I don't know what to do.
Oh, man. Okay, so this is the clip she sent in. It's an audio clip, so let me cue this up. This is a clip from the Today Show. So are you ready? Here it comes. I'm just going to make sure we got audio. Here it is.
Losing a tooth just apparently doesn't pay like it used to. For the second year in a row, an annual survey found the Tooth Fairy is paying less for lost teeth than the year before.
The tooth fairy,
Current
Marcelo.
average, it's about $5 a tooth. That's down about 84 cents from the previous year. 2023, the average value of a lost tooth, it peaked at a record high of $6.23, still a lot more than I got 35 years ago.
All right. So that was the video clip your mom sent me. And actually, she sent it 1, 2, 3, 4. She sent it 4 times. Maybe she wasn't sure if it sent the first time. She really wanted us to see it.
I'm going to laugh if she didn't even mean to send that to us. And she just kept on doing, oh, shit. Oh, shit. I can see her going like, oh, shit, not that one. Oh, shit, not that one. Oh, shit.
Okay. You're going to have to ask her that. But I'm saying thank you, Mrs. Ann, for saying that clip. So basically, the Tooth Fairy is paying out tons of money to kids nowadays for losing their teeth.
I say we go around and start knocking kids out and just fucking knocking their teeth. Did you hear what he said? Over $6 per tooth?
Yeah, on average, kids are getting a little over $6 per tooth.
Yeah.
Now, I must say, I've been leaving the cash, the money transfer to my wife as our kids are losing their teeth.
Yeah.
And I really don't know what she's putting under their bed. But I think in the mornings when my kids would wake up and they were like, oh, yeah, look what the Tooth Fairy left me. I think it was like a $5 bill. And I'm looking at my wife like, excuse me? Like, you think money grows on trees? Like, I think $1.
Since when does the Tooth Fairy affect inflation?
I think $1 is the perfect amount. When we were kids, it was what, a quarter?
I got $1.
I remember this one time. I just remember this. I lost a tooth, but then I lost that tooth, and I was freaking out because I'm like, "Oh no, I'm not going to get money from the Tooth Fairy." And my dad said, "Here, we're going to grab a piece of popcorn, a popcorn kernel. It'll trick the raton. It was a rat. Apparently in El Salvador, we don't have tooth fairies. We have rats that come in, take the tooth, and then leave money." Anyway, the trick worked, and the rat left me like a quarter or something. But yeah, kids are getting average of $6.23.
What the fuck?
I'm thinking about pulling my own teeth because I need to make some extra cash.
And there's how many teeth in the human mouth?
We need a dentist.
Is it 32? 32 teeth?
Can you call that dentist? Dr. Joe.
Feel like calling the rat whatever that your Salvadoran people know.
But anyway, that was Simple Shoutouts. Thank you for sending that in, Mrs. Ann.
32 permanent teeth. So
32 times 6.
30, yeah, that's what I was trying to do. Off the top of my head,
12. It's close to $200.
192.
192.
That'd be $192.
That's an easy way to make $192.
Exactly.
Is it worth it?
I don't know.
But that was Simple Shoutouts. Thank you, Mrs. Ann, for sending that in. And if you, listener, also want to be featured
please, anybody else besides my mom
wants to be featured on Simple Shoutouts, all you have to do is send us a message, and there are a couple ways. Instagram's a great way. Send us a message there.
Just not the same one 4 times over and over again.
And you can write to us at our email, simpletimespodcast@gmail.com, and we will read our inbox, and you will be featured on the podcast. So, where do we go from here, Marcelo? I don't know what we're doing anymore.
Yeah.
How have you been, man? A lot of times has gone by. How have you been? I remember last time I was hoping to record with you. You got sick again. What's wrong with your body?
I don't know.
I think when God was making you, he was like, all right, here's Marcelo. Okay, let me put a little bit of white skin. Okay. I dropped it.
Well, if you really knew who my mom was, you wouldn't be saying that God was making me.
and then when he put you together and you were born, he was like, oh crap, I forgot to put in the good health seasoning.
Right? But no, this time it was bronchitis this time.
Dang, how does one get bronchitis?
I have no idea.
Was it like you were on the cold too much? And
no, I mean, I'm pretty bundled up when it comes to the cold.
Because I'm not a scientist, but bronchitis can turn into pneumonia.
Yeah. And
pneumonia, people get pneumonia if they're like out in the cold, right?
Yes. I mean,
or wet or something.
Yeah, something like that. But I mean, I don't think I was. I mean, like I said, I'm usually pretty bundled up when I head out. I really don't know. It just all of a sudden.
Did you think you were gonna die?
No.
Okay. All right.
Just I don't think so. I mean, never crossed my mind until now. Andrew, thanks.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry.
But yeah, I mean, it was probably my first time getting bronchitis.
That's scary.
I don't think I've ever. I mean, usually it's sinus stuff for me.
You didn't freak out when the doctor said, "Hey, it's bronchitis."
No, I was just kind of like, huh, because I kind of had a feeling it was, just because of how chest centric it was this time. Because like I said, usually it's my sinuses, so I can usually take care of it pretty quickly. I know what to do. I know how to prepare. It's the same old shit. But this time I was kind of like, huh. This is in my chest. Like I'm coughing more and more now, and so I started taking antibiotics like almost right as soon as I felt any symptoms. But after like a week, I was like, I'm not feeling any better, like very little, But it was weird. Like my head felt fine, but it was all in my chest, and I was coughing up some nasty shit, And went into the urgent care and was like, it's been a week. I've been on some pretty strong medicine, Cipro. Nothing's it's not getting any better. I was like, it's weird. So she said, okay, I gave her all the symptoms. So she listened to my chest, and in my upper left lung and my lower right lung, she says that sounded like there was fluid, that she could hear like the wheezingness, the wheeziness and the gurgling. So she goes, I don't want to say you have pneumonia. She goes, but it kind of sounds like it. She goes, so first we'll treat it as bronchitis. We won't get too extreme with it. We'll just hit it. We'll treat it with bronchitis. And if by Tuesday, which was at the time was 4 days, 3-4 days, away, she goes, if you're not feeling better by then, come back and we'll definitely start treating you for pneumonia. So I was like, all right, and so she goes, but I'm going to give you some pretty strong stuff. And boy, she was not lying.
What does that mean? Like, was it strong as in
it was
knocked you out? And
no. I mean, this stuff was, I mean, I had never, so I got, so the one antibiotic that I got was a Z-Pack. Can't remember what the full name, but it's known as a Z-Pack. I have never known a medication where, now most of my medications that I've ever taken, antibiotic-wise, like it's like a 2-dose a day. Like it'll be like, this one every 12 hours, or maybe this one every 8 hours kind of thing. This one was, I had to do 6 doses in one day.
Jeez.
I had to do 5 doses the next day, 4 doses the next day, 3 the next, 2 the next, 1 the next.
At that point, I would have been like, yes, doc, you can prescribe me this, but I'm not taking it.
And then there was another, but I don't take it back. That wasn't the Z-Pack. I think the Z-Pack was 1 a day. So it was every 24 hours. Mm-hmm. I was on 2 antibiotics at the same time. I was prescribed an inhaler, albuterol. Which I'd never done before. I was like, this is. I think I've done albuterol before when I had viral pneumonia years and years ago, and then I had opted for a cough syrup because I was like, I wake up coughing. So she gave me a cough syrup for nighttime, which that stuff worked amazing.
You stopped coughing.
I stopped being awake.
You stopped breathing.
No, not quite there, but I mean, it definitely knocked me down. Non-narcotic. So she was like, it's not codeine. So whatever it was that was in it was fucking fantastic.
Sounds like you were living the dream for a week or two?
I was dreaming. No. This was, I mean, because of how strong these are, we're talking from Saturday to Thursday.
You were good?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow. Less than a week.
So 6 days, yeah.
Man, all this talk about you being sick, I'm starting to rethink. We should have named this episode instead of Marcelo's heart of mold to Marcelo's lungs of mold.
I am mold. Apparently, I'm got all kinds of spores in me, I guess. But yeah, I mean, I had a pretty, and it was pretty fun. And what's funny is that if I would have read it clearly, I could have taken all 6 doses in one dose.
In one taking?
And one taking and been done for the day. And I was tempted, and if I would have known, I would have done that instead of trying to make up. But man, that stuff, I felt loopy almost. Like
loopy.
The amount of antibiotics that were in my body, I felt like, holy shit, this is like really fucking up something,
Man, you sound like you were flying up there with the helicopters
almost.
you built.
I kind of felt like that for the first day. The first day or two was like that. I mean, because I was on the 2 antibiotics.
All your coworkers were like, "Hey, why is Marcelo so happy all of a sudden?"
I was not at work. It was on a Saturday, so it was when
you were at home chilling.
I was chilling,
beyond chilling.
Yes, I was. So,
You've heard of beyond beef. You were beyond chilling.
So that Saturday when I came home and I had the antibiotics, I just started taking them. I was. They had told me that on the next meal, which when I got home I ate something. They said you can take 2 then. And then they said, dinner time, take 2 more. And then before you go to bed, take 2 more. So, I mean, like within, I don't know, maybe like, see if I got home about, we'll say 2 o'clock just to make it even. 2 o'clock had a dose. 4 o'clock, I think, 4 o'clock-ish had another dose. And I think I was in bed by 6, 7 o'clock. So within about a 4 to 6 hour span, I was, I had a full day's worth of antibiotics in me. So,
jeez, man. See, you don't need a wife. You can take care of yourself.
Hell yeah, I can.
Man, you know when to take your medicine.
I am a strong, independent man.
That you sexist freak. Can't believe you just said that on Simple Times podcast. Brought to you by Beach Glass Media. So I'm just going to do a little promo, Marcelo. Sure. You can chillax, interject, whatever you want to do. Hey, wake up. Wake up. Yeah. So Beach Glass Media, what is Beach Glass Media? First of all, Marcelo, Beach Glass Media, the studio, finally got an upgrade after how many years?
What do we figure? Almost 16?
Almost 16 years. After 16 years of recording podcasts together, finally the biggest upgrade in the studio. I got me a little Zoom AMS44, which is basically an audio interface. But before that, we were using some little mixer console that looked like it was built in the 70s.
Yeah.
And I needed all kinds of connections and wires just to plug it into my computer.
There were knobs that we didn't even realize worked or did anything for us.
Like one little twist gave us too much hiss.
Yeah.
And then one little twist in the reverse direction, couldn't hear anything. But now we finally stepped in to the 21st century.
Yeah.
And I think we're sounding better than ever. So we downsized the what would you call it? The real estate that our old equipment was using. And we got a new setup here. Not only do we have a new audio interface in the studio, I found this chair, this plushy leather chair that I'm sitting on.
The office chair that you're in, yeah.
I found it on the street whilst delivering the mail.
Oh, is that why I'm getting so itchy now?
Man, you're not even sitting on it. I'm the one getting itchy.
Did you ever see that episode of not to veer off, but did you ever see the episode of Big Bang Theory? Did you watch Big Bang Theory at all?
I did watch it.
Do you remember the episode when Penny found a chair in the alley, I think, next to the dumpster or on the street, something?
I don't remember that episode.
And she brought it up, and it was like this red chair. She fell in love with it. She's like, it was just the cutest thing and all that stuff. And she had Sheldon sit in it somehow. And when he sat down, she hadn't told him that it was where she found it. She was like, "Yeah, I got a new chair," and he's like, "Oh," he's like really into it. He's like sitting there, he's like really comfy. He's loving it. And then she tells him, she's like, "Oh yeah, I found it, like in the alley," and he freaks out. He gets up and he's like, you had me you had me sit in an alley chair," and he starts obsessing over it, and like in his mind, I think like he has like either a daydream or he dreams at night that something starts moving around under the fabric on the chair. And I think it ends up being like rats or bugs or something like that. It bursts out of him, but he starts obsessing over it because he's like, it needs to be cleaned and all this, because he's Sheldon. So when I saw you say that, you like, yeah, I found this chair in the street. I'm like, huh? Why was it on the street?
And then you see the scarabs like from
right?
The Mummy,
from the Mummy
crawling into my face.
And I'm like, oh, that's why it was free.
And then you have to do Simple Times podcast all by yourself.
Yeah.
But anyway, back to the promotional Beach Class Media. So this podcast that you're listening to is under the Beach Class Media umbrella, and so is A Fear and Review,
yes,
Marcelo's other podcast, and he just put out a new episode entitled what was it, Marcelo?
Cupid's Crossbow Kisses.
Cupid's Crossbow Kisses. Now available wherever you listen to podcasts. You can find it on Apple Podcasts and Spotify.
And I believe Amazon, I think, maybe.
I will have to double check on that. But give us a little.
I always say that, then I forget to check.
So tell us about A Fear and Review. What do you guys do there? It's you and Rory.
Yep, me and Rory. We just basically review and. Well, the idea was to review horror movies, but it seems like we really kind of go almost scene by scene, and we just kind of discuss what the movie is, and then at the end, we talk about, of course, on the way we do kind of give our thoughts and stuff like that with it.
You know what I just thought about? It would be a good like supplement to say someone watches this movie. Mm-hmm. And they're like, you know what? Let me hear what Marcelo and Rory have to say about it. And then it's like they can hang out with you and Rory talking about this movie.
You can almost watch it like scene for scene from beginning to end. We do our best to really try to remember it in order of what the of how the movie went. And we just kind of talk about, it's almost scene for scene.
In this latest movie, Hard Eyes,
yes,
is this latest episode.
Yeah, it's one of the latest slasher films. It's still out in theaters right now as we speak.
And you chose this movie because
Valentine's Day passed. I mean,
we're still in February, so it makes sense.
And I want to say Hard Eyes may have come out
this year, right?
It came out. I'm trying to remember if it came out Valentine's Day or if it came out the week before. It may have come out the week before Valentine's. But I mean, it definitely came out in the month of February.
Tell our listeners what you have in store, because you were telling me some great stuff that you guys are going to be doing with the Fear and Review. Like, I remember you and Rory saw Nosferatu.
Yeah, we saw Nosferatu. We're going to get to that one.
Yeah, we're expecting a review.
Yeah. We're going to get to that soon.
And then you told me you just saw The Monkey.
We just saw The Monkey, so we're probably going to do The Monkey. Nosferatu, because it's been we saw it Christmas Day. We both want to see it again to kind of refresh ourselves. And I believe he said that it is on Prime Video now to buy and to rent. So I think we are going to end up sitting down to rewatch that at some point. But Nosferatu is gonna come out. I don't want to say soon and then it not be soon, but we are planning on doing a Nosferatu episode. We just saw The Monkey twice. We both loved The Monkey. Rory even got the popcorn bucket monkey.
Nice.
So that's also one that should might be sooner than we expect, just because of how much we loved it, and we saw it twice, so it's pretty fresh in our minds. But yeah, we got The Monkey coming up. We got Nosferatu also coming up. And then I think
some interviews,
possibly.
Well, we'll just keep that in the possibly section
realm, yeah.
But yeah, very cool. So once again, that is A Fear in Review. Find it on wherever you listen to podcasts. The other podcast under Beach Glass Media is my personal podcast, Faith and Politics with Andrew Reyes. The latest episode, episode 13, is called The Love of Money. So on that podcast, I use satire and, some Bible concepts and some political opinions to make an entertaining show. And I try to keep it about 30 minutes, so easy to digest. But yeah, that's Faith and Politics with Andrew Reyes, also on Beach Glass Media.
And we are not on Amazon Music, so we'll have to figure out how to do that, because I don't think you ever put us on Amazon. It just popped up. Because Simple Times is on it.
Simple Times is on it.
Yeah.
I put mine on there. I had to make like a whole new account, but...
For Amazon?
I've had to do something.
Yeah,
There was multiple steps to get it onto Amazon, but we'll look into it.
Okay.
I'm on it, boss. I'm on it, boss.
Okay.
And yeah, that is Beach Glass Media. 3 podcasts on there, and it's also partially my editing services, quote unquote. But yeah, tune in.
In fact, just when I uploaded it maybe 3 hours ago at max, and we're already at two plays.
Oh, very nice. So, people are tuning in.
Yes, they are.
And I noticed that it went over to Apple Podcasts very quickly, because I got the notification on my phone, and normally it takes like several hours, but it was instantaneous. So I remember you had some negative things to say about Apple Podcasts, which is fair, But I'm surprised that it...
What were the negative things I had to say about Apple Podcasts?
Oh, you said that anything Apple is weird.
Oh, I'm just not a fan of just Apple, the whole Apple cult thing. Yeah.
Right. But also, when we'd upload our episodes to Spotify, which is our host, it always took forever for it to get onto Apple. But now it's getting better.
Well, I did notice that the Spotify for Creators app that we use did a major change and upgrade and everything. So I wonder if that just kind of made things go smoother.
Yeah. Also, podcasts are on the rise. Everybody's listening to podcasts.
Yeah.
Video podcasts is getting really popular.
It is.
So I think, Spotify, Apple, they're really honing in this media because, I even heard the White House is letting podcasters go into the press briefings, because they're realizing that, everybody gets their information via podcast.
That reminds me, so I'm currently going back rewatching the show called Tacoma FD. And,
is that the fire department one?
Yeah. From the guys with Super Troopers, Broken Lizard guys. Yeah.
I watched the first few episodes. It was actually entertaining.
Oh yeah, I love it. I love it. And I watched an episode where they were doing a little press conference, because they were doing like a charity boxing match between the fire department and the police department, and the councilwoman that was hosting and that was doing the press conference was there's a couple media people, and she was like, is there any questions from the media? And the guy was like, yeah, I have a question. Oh, okay, yeah. So she goes, yeah, I can't remember his name, so John Smith, Next Door app.
I'm always on that Next Door app. I always want to know what's happening, or because I'm a mailman, I want to see if people say negative things about me.
And but what's funny is that after he asked the question, she was like, "Any questions from an actual news media?" And then he was like, "Oh," he goes, "I'm sorry." He goes, "I have to step out. Someone lost a cat." And he goes,
speaking of Next Door app and me being a mailman, I want to go into our next segment, Mailman Stories.
Oh, you have a story?
I have a story.
Oh, what pup did you kick now?
No, you're gonna be proud of me, Marcelo. So once again, I'm going to try to make these mailman stories a new staple of the show, because I am a mailman. For those of you listening, I've mentioned that before many a time. But, something always happens to the mailman. And this time, oh, go get your tissues, people. Because, yeah, you're going to be feeling all kinds of emotions. Okay, so I have my route, which is in the Hollywood Riviera. It's basically Torrance, but it does have a South Redondo zip code. It's very strange. I don't get why they did that, but anyway. So I'm delivering up there. Almost as strange as your place that was on Voorhees, where we were in the living room, we were in Linwood, we were in like the back bedroom, we were in like what was it called? It was like Mediterranean something. Was it? I just remember that like as we would move around your place, like or go out to the driveway, it would be like and then like you would see like you would refresh your the weather app on your phone, and it'd say like want to choose your current location. Yeah, you would be in like Redondo, you would be in like Linwood, you would be Lawndale, yeah, or like not really Inglewood, but like yeah, it would like 4 or 5 different cities would pop up depending on where you were at in your house. Maybe the zip code changed. Yeah, right. So when you're delivering the mail, you tend to see the same people over and over, and you tend to see the same people walking their dogs every day almost. So there's this one old guy, and he walks his 2 little dogs. You know, they're about the size of my dogs. They're really small. And he's this old man. He's got to be late 70s. So he's an old man. And he has some kind of accent. So I don't know where he's from, but maybe from like a Russian accent or, from that part of the world. But he's this old man walking his dog. And he always salutes me when he sees me. He's always like, hello. Like he's, I don't know. I don't know if he thinks I'm like someone worthy of a salute, like an army general or something. People still think, people still think that like the postal service is like an actual like federal service government kind of thing. I still think that. No, I'm just kidding. It's its own entity. But so this guy salutes me, hello, and he's walking his dogs, and he always tries to say something nice to me. He's like, oh, it's a nice day. The weather is good. Something like that, right? He's just an old man, and he's walking these 2 dogs, and I always say hi to him, like, oh, how are you doing? I try to, strike up a little conversation just to be friendly, right, me. Right, yeah. I'm like, hey, how are you doing? How's it going? Nice to see you. And he's like, oh, the last thing I remember him saying to me is like, I said, hey, how are you doing? He goes, I still inhale and I'm still exhaling. And I'm like, oh, great. Yeah, that's awesome. We're alive. Yeah, it's all good. So anyway, I was moving to my next set of streets to deliver. And then I turn the corner, and what do I see? I see a little dog in the middle of the road scratching himself. And I was like, whoa. And I kind of swerved out of the way. I'm like, whoa, what? Why is there a dog in the middle of the street? This doesn't make any sense. And I look closely, and he still has his leash on him. But the dog is just in the middle of the road, scratching himself, leash on him. And I'm like, well, it brings new meaning to the term all dogs must be on a leash here, because this dog is definitely on a leash. But there's no owner. I'm looking around. And what do I see? The old guy is walking away. He's on the other block. And I'm like, oh, he forgot about his dog. Now, I kind of, put 2 and 2 together. I'm sure he just let go of a leash on accident. Yeah. But one dog probably kept tugging at him to move forward. And the other dog was like, I really got this itch that I gotta scratch. Because those little dogs, how strong they could be. Yeah. He was yanking that guy. And he just kept going forward and kept walking forward. And so what do? I'm like, oh, man, I don't want this dog to get run over. So I jump out of my mail truck, and then I grab the dog by the leash, and I'm like, come on, little guy, let's go. And so I see the old man walking away. He must have been like, I don't know, 500 yards away. And I'm like, sir, your dog. And then I'm walking his dog to him. I got to cross a street. So I'm like, oh man, hope no cars are coming. I want this dog to get run over, because then that just makes me look twice as bad. And I'm like, sir, your dog, sir. And he finally turns around and he's like, oh. And then he starts walking towards me, kind of slowly hobbling along. And I'm like, here you go, sir. I saw your dog in the middle of the street. Oh man. And I knew it was your dog because I see you all the time. And he goes, oh, that happens more than you think. I was like, oh, really? I thought I was being a superhero over here. This is just another Tuesday?
Yeah, right.
But Marcelo, how come you're not as excited as I thought you would be? I saved a dog. Last year I kicked the dog. This year I saved the dog.
I mean, you're working your way up, so.
I thought you'd be proud of me. I thought you'd be like patting me on the back and, I don't know, putting a purple robe on me and lighting me a cigar.
Do you want a cigar?
No, not really. But I thought you would do something like that.
Okay, I'll go ahead and get you a cigar.
Man, that was a proud moment.
Brought you beer.
Oh, yeah, you did. Well, that's the end of Mailman Stories.
All right.
Please, Mr. Postman, look and see. Is there a letter? Oh, yeah.
But yes, Marcelo, thank you for bringing me this beer.
So, should you crack one open to drink while you're here?
Well, let's talk about it real quick.
Okay.
So, I'm not a huge drinker.
Right.
But I do socially drink, like.
I have brought you beer on the podcast before.
And then that episode, Boozy Buddies, was a big hit.
That one?
People tuned in probably because we were drinking.
Uh-huh.
But let's see. The first one I have here, this nice beer can that you brought me, it's called Percolator Penrod's?
Penrod's,
Penrod's Percolator.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. And it has like a illustration of like a...
And each can and each label is put on by hand.
Oh, that's really cool.
By the general manager of Project Barley.
Awesome. This one's called, this is an Imperial Coffee Stout.
Yep.
It sounds pretty good, actually, because I like me some coffee.
Yeah.
12% ABV. You're trying to get me plastered.
Maybe a little bit.
But that looks really good. Project Barley.
Mm-hmm. Shop
Very
local.
Nice. Very nice. I told you when I was delivering in South Redondo, I would see the Project Barley van.
They have three or four locations, so yeah.
With their decals. It was always parked in the same spot, so I figured the owners lived right there in South Redondo. But, occasionally I'd see it driving around.
Yeah.
All right, and the second beer that you got me.
And this is my favorite. I actually haven't had the Percolator one.
This one says, greetings from Lomita Cerveza.
Yep, it's Cerveza Lomita.
Cerveza Lomita.
That's their Mexican beer.
Ooh. So
yeah.
In my head, I think when I hear Mexican beer, of course, I think about
Modelo, Corona. Yeah.
So is this similar to that?
I'd say better.
Ooh.
I would say better.
I'm very tempted to open it. 4.6 ABV. That's your standard, like, think of it, I don't want to say blonde ale, but kind of like that kind of, it's just a Mexican lager. So think of like your Modelo or a Corona, kind of like a basic Mexican beer. What do you think our listeners would want me to do?
I mean, they'd probably
save it or open it up right now.
They would probably want you to get plastered and do the Percolator, but no, yeah, I see the fear in your eyes, so I think you'll have to do the Cerveza Lomita.
All right, you know what? You talked me into it, Marcelo.
Something tells me if there is a beer that she would finish, it would be the Cerveza Lomita.
All right. Before I open it, Marcelo, I have a little surprise for you, and it ties in with this.
Okay.
So do you remember last year, about a year ago?
Okay.
Because it's been a year since we did our St. Patrick's Day Simple Sessions. Okay. So the St. Patrick's Day. You brought over...
Oh, yeah. Brought over Guinness.
Guinness, right? And then You said you can keep some because it was like a 4-pack or so. I can't remember.
Oh my God! Don't tell me you still have it. Is that the same bottle from when I brought it, or is that a new bottle?
I just whipped out a Guinness.
Oh God, put it away.
Draft
No, I'm doing
stout from a year ago.
Oh my God,
The same
dude!
beer bottle from a year ago that you brought over on Simple Times podcast.
What's the expiration date?
I've had this in my refrigerator this whole entire time.
Oh my God.
To make a point that I'm not a big drinker.
I was gonna say that's pretty disappointing.
That 4.2 alcohol. I think I'll yeah, just like this one.
Yeah.
The point is, I'm not a huge drinker, Marcelo.
Yeah,
you
I
go
know.
out on benders all the time with your coworkers.
I do not go out on benders.
And
Compared to your little, apparently 1 beer a year, yeah, I guess it would be a bender.
the point is, I'm not a huge drinker. Even
There
though
are so many people that are listening to this
everybody-
podcast that are so disappointed in you right
I'm
now.
sure they are, and I welcome that. And you know what? Maybe they should be disappointed in me. But my point is, I'm not a huge drinker.
Yes, I
even
know
though
that.
the whole world around me wants me to be.
Okay.
But yeah, this is from a year ago. Does Guinness go bad?
It can, yes.
Can you find the
Beer in general can go bad.
Look for an expiration date on that bottle. And while you're doing that, I'm going to open up Cerveza Lomita, courtesy of Marcelo, Project Barley, shop local, Marcelo said.
Yes, yes.
All right, everyone quiet. There we go.
Now, I will tell you this. Those are bigger than your standard beers.
Oh,
so those
so
are going to be a pint.
Gotcha.
So,
First of all, the smell test. Here we go.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, Marcelo, that smells really good.
I'm telling you, it's probably my favorite beer.
And now, first sip. Here we go. That is really good.
Telling you, yeah, really
Better
crisp.
than Modelo.
Yes.
Better than Corona.
Yep, way better than Corona. Corona to me lately has been very skunky. So I was never really a big fan of Corona.
This is tasty. This is something I can
And
enjoy.
and it's light and it's crisp.
It's light. It's not heavy.
Nope.
I think I'm falling asleep, my guy.
Now,
Just kidding.
this Guinness? Are you actually going to drink it too, or were you doing this to give it to me?
No.
Okay.
I
And by the way, I do not see an expiration date. I see a couple numbers that are like imprinted, but it looks like manufacturer kind of stuff. There might be some kind of like meaning behind it, because I am seeing like a 3326. I'm hoping that's not March 3rd, 26. But I mean, as long as it's refrigerated, I guess.
I don't know, because I'm no expert on
I'm
beers or anything.
beer usually does not last a year in my fridge, so I can't tell you how it is a year after.
Touche.
I mean,
I'm asking you because you know more about beer than me.
at most, I would say maybe it would be a little flatter.
Right.
Doesn't
Doesn't Guinness have like that little? You like open it and it, like lets out some like nitrogen or something to give it that bubbly kind of.
Well, with the Guinness, usually with stouts, you don't have as much carbonation. This is nitrogenated, but I mean, you usually don't get a lot of carbonation out of Guinness because it's a stout. It's a thicker beer. It usually kind of, because it's so thick and so creamy, I guess you could say, it does give more of a head. Which is like the foaminess on top, but you don't get like that carbonation that you would in like opening up like a Budweiser or like a Coors or something like that. So I mean, I definitely don't want to see it in your fridge in another year.
No, I don't think so. I mean, I thought, because I'm no expert, that it's bad by now. I
wouldn't say it's bad. I mean, as long as you kept it refrigerated, and it's not opened.
I just took it out of the refrigerator today.
Yeah, I don't see any reason why you can't.
Would you be interested in taking it home with you?
Yeah, sure.
And then maybe on the next podcast, let us know
if I
what
survive.
happened.
Yeah.
You get pneumonia. I'll
Right.
have first sip.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I could definitely Yeah, I'll definitely do it. I'll never say no to a Guinness.
All right. Well, thank you, Marcelo, for the burrs. That was very, very thoughtful of you. So now I thought we could reminisce.
Okay.
Like from the time when we both met and you introduced some really good music to me.
Okay.
I mean, look, that beer's a year old, that Guinness right there.
Uh-huh.
But, sometimes old is gold. And you know how music from 20 years ago is now
Classic rock?
Is considered oldies?
Yeah.
Like, think about this. People in the 90s were listening to like 60s and 70s music.
Which were like the golden oldie kind of stuff.
That was oldies.
Yeah.
And that's like a 20, 25-year difference. Now.
Wait, hold on. You said in the 90s, people were listening to music from the 60s and 50s?
Like the 60s and 70s.
60s and 70s? Okay, that's about 30 years, 30 to 20.
And they would think, that's oldies.
For me, growing up, usually the oldies were more like in the 50s kind of stuff, Motown type stuff. That was oldies to me.
Touche.
60s, 70s, even 80s, that was more of like a classic rock thing for me.
Touche.
Okay.
So, but now, music from like 20 years ago, that's what plays on oldies radio.
That's like early 2000s. Yeah, I know.
So what was one of the bands we both connected on? Not Foo Fighters.
Okay. The other one was probably Yellow Card.
True. Let's think more mainstream.
Mainstream. Geez, who did we connect on big that was other than Foo Fighters? Foo Fighters, Yellow Card. I think there was Nickelback.
There you go.
Oh,
You
really?
got it. All right. So I'm here to try to ruin the song for
God,
you. Are you ready?
okay.
All right. Let's make sure this opens up.
Look at this photograph. It's a photo of a photograph. There's another freaking photograph because I photographed a photograph. So many photographs makes me want to take a photograph. I should probably hang that photograph next to my photo of a photograph.
Look at this photograph.
It gets a little old-timey now.
It makes me laugh.
Very vaudeville.
Hear the sounds of the ragtime dance. All the gals wanna get
You weren't expecting that.
No.
But back to that photograph. It reminds me of the photograph before the photo of that photograph when it was just a normal photograph.
Definitely makes the lyrics easy to remember.
You got to have the oh, God, I don't hear that again. God, I turned it off. Okay, there we go. It was going to loop around again. There, I ruined it.
I wouldn't say you ruined it, actually.
What?
I actually kind of enjoy that.
You like the parody?
Yeah, I actually didn't mind the parody, yeah.
Did it bring you back to like driving in one of your old cars, like that Explorer you had that you got pulled over in? And I was riding shotgun.
And you were freaking out. You were like, what do I have on me? Oh my God. I'm going to get shot. No, what's going to happen? Am I going to be arrested?
I'm like,
You were so scared and so nervous when we were pulling away. You were like, you're like, what did you do? And I'm like, dude, like it's easy. Like,
the cop was like, have any of you two been drinking? And I'm like, yes, officer, water.
no, I still remember that.
Any drugs on you?
Yeah,
I've got Tylenol.
Yeah, the officer came up and he was like, where are you guys headed? Like, oh, we're out to skate over on Redondo Beach. Oh, okay.
I remember he said, I saw you blow through that red light, and you were like,
no.
I remember what you said.
No, it was not red. He had even said, I went a little quick through two yellows. They were not reds, because if it was reds, he would have written up a ticket. They were yellows. He cannot arrest or he cannot prosecute anybody.
You are correct.
Or red tickets because they ran yellows.
I remember you saying to that police officer, you were like, officer, I was looking down at my speedometer and then I looked up and it turned yellow.
Yeah.
But at that point, I couldn't stop.
Nope. If I would have stopped, it would have caused an accident. Because and actually, if it was true what he said, he would have been the one that would have rear-ended me because he was following me right behind me. So
you win.
I did. I scot-free without a ticket.
You fought the law and the Marcelo won. But that's just a little our history. And we have a lot of history.
Yeah.
You got me into Photograph by Nickelback.
And got you in a Nickelback period.
Yes, which you still have to watch that documentary.
I do, yeah.
Please watch it, man.
I'm going to.
Please.
I'm going to at some point. I
you'll
will
like it. So you gave me.
I'm not opposed to it. It's just I do keep forgetting. It for me right now. It's finding things that are more like half hour.
Yeah,
because that's really all I have time really to watch.
No, I understand
stuff,
that. But Nickelback's part of our history. Getting pulled over is part of our history. That year-old Guinness bottle right there is part of our history. But there's nothing better than History with Jefe.
On this day, February 28th, I'm kind of disappointed that this year isn't leap year, because I would have loved to see what took place on February 29th on history. That would have been pretty cool. One of these leap years, we've got to do an episode on February 29th just so we see.
What happens to people born on February 29th? Do they not age?
Very slowly, like dogs. But no, actually, a lot of people say that if they were born on February 29th, usually they celebrate March 1st.
Got it.
They'll. I think I've heard people say that they do like a soft, quote unquote, soft celebration, like on March 1st. But when it comes to February 20, every leap year, they go big.
They go berserk.
Yeah. So, but that one question I've always wondered, and I know we'll get back to history with Jefe. When they turn 21 or even 18. Do they count it as like a yearly thing, or do they actually go by like, every 4 years is 1 year?
It's 1 year.
So when they hit 18, wouldn't they be like what, like in their 30s technically?
Wouldn't they be younger?
Right, and that's what I mean. Is
like if they're
like, let's say
they're you and I, normal people, 30 years old.
Right.
But in reality, they're 18.
Right.
I guess there is a fountain of youth.
But it kind of sucks because then it's like, well, when do they have to wait to buy beer? So that's the question I have. Anyway, go back to February 28th on this day.
History with Jefe.
History with Jefe. Yeah. 1999, the Gulf War ends after Iraq accepts a ceasefire following their retreat from Kuwait.
Interesting.
Yeah. Today in film and TV, in 1983, the final TV episode of MASH airs on CBS, a 2-hour special directed by series star Alan Alda, titled Goodbye, Farewell, and Amen. A record 125 million viewers watched it in the U.S., and I think that still holds the record. I believe so.
Crazy.
I mean, back then, I think this way, there's only, maybe 5 major networks, so, everybody was watching. Today in music, 1984, the 26th Grammy Awards was aired, and Michael Jackson wins 8 Grammys.
Whoa.
Yeah, I know, right? Today in sports, 1971, PGA Championship Men's Golf PGA National East. Jack Nicklaus leads wire-to-wire for his second career Grand Slam, winning by 2 strokes over Billy Casper. And I still don't know what wire-to-wire or winning by 2... Well, I know what winning by 2 strokes is, but...
Different strokes for different folks.
I guess so. Famous birthdays of today. We got gangster Bugsy Siegel, born on this day in 1906.
Marcelo, if you have a kid, don't name him Marcelo. Name him Bugsy.
I think I might have to.
Bugsy.
Other birthdays on this day is Mario Andretti. He celebrates his 85th birthday. Do you know who Mario Andretti is?
I've heard the name, but it's not coming to me. Who is that?
He is a race car driver. Famous, probably considered one of the absolute best. Mainly got his name in F1 and a lot of the Formula Series over in like Europe. I think him and his son raced with each other, against each other in Formula. I think they did dabble in NASCAR, but didn't do very well. They mainly stuck with Formula. Also celebrating birthday today is Bernadette Peters, an American actress renowned for her Broadway performances. She turned 77 today. And then also basketball player who just got traded down to the Los Angeles Lakers, Luka Doncic, I think is how you say his last name. He's a Serbian guy, so I don't really know how to pronounce his last name. Celebrates his 26th birthday. 26.
And on the Lakers.
And he's on the Lakers. And he's known as being like one of the best players in the league.
Wow.
Yeah.
I might have to look out for this guy, see how he does.
So far, he's doing pretty well from what I heard.
Interesting.
Famous weddings today. Some of these weddings are actually pretty, especially one. American actor Tony Curtis weds Lisa Deutsch, his fifth wife. They then go on a divorce in 1994. They got married in 1993, so that marriage only lasted 1 year.
Wow.
Yeah. Speaking of divorces, though, a very famous divorce happened on this day in 1998. Baywatch actress Pamela Anderson divorces Motley Crue drummer Tommy Lee after 3 years of marriage.
3 whole years.
3 whole years. Famous deaths. Now, there's a few deaths, but there's 2 that really stuck out to me, mainly because of history. Juan de la Cosa. He is a Castilian navigator and cartographer. He is best known for creating the earliest European world map. Imagine drawing that out by hand.
That's pretty crazy.
And then this next one, I'm hoping I pronounced the name right. I'm sorry. Let's go. Juan de la Cosa died on this day in 1510. So I forgot to say that. Now this guy died on this date in 1525, and his name was Cuauhtémoc, who is the last Aztec emperor.
Ooh,
Cuauhtémoc. I believe that's how you say his name. Say its name. Not much else to it. That's history with Jefe.
Beautiful, Marcelo. Beautiful. Thank you so much for enlightening us with that history.
So now let's try to get into more of the Valentine stuff on this episode.
Yeah, since we're like on the hairs of February.
Yeah, we're right on the pubes of Valentine's Day.
I meant to say fumes.
Oh, fumes. No, but you said hairs.
I did say hairs.
And I said pubes.
You did force me to drink this cerveza.
Forced you, yes.
Yeah, you shoved it down my gullet.
Yes, I sure did. Yes.
Fumes.
Yes.
You said pubes. Disgusting. Okay, Valentine's Day.
So since you're apparently all liquored up, let me go ahead and hit you with a Valentine's Day trivia. Trivia for Valentine's Day. Just some, just quick questions. Just give me the best answer you can. These are all Valentine's related.
You got quick questions. I got quick answers.
Before X stood for a kiss, what did it represent at the end of a letter?
Ooh. Oh, like a signature.
It was just the cross.
Oh, okay.
Cupid has what name in Greek mythology?
Cupid, love. It has to be like Philos something.
Kind of. Eros.
Eros.
But spelled E-R-O-S.
Oh, like erotica.
I guess.
Eros.
Yeah. In Roman mythology, Cupid is the son of whom?
Zeus?
Nope. Venus.
Venus. Oh, she's the
Venus.
beautiful one.
Yes, she is.
That makes sense.
What Valentine's Day candy was first created on equipment made for lozenges?
Lozenges?
You know what lozenges are?
No.
Like cough drops, like a throat lozenge.
Okay. Peppermints?
Nope. Sweethearts.
Oh.
You know, like the little candy chalky
the
sweethearts.
circle ones.
No, the sweethearts.
Sweethearts. Not
Sweetheart.
sweet tarts?
Not sweet tarts. Sweethearts.
The ones that have like
That
little
are-
names, like words on them?
Yes, that are shaped like a heart.
Oh, yeah. You know, I still like those.
So do I. They're like, even though it tastes like you're fucking chewing on like blackboard chalk, but I mean,
They got little fruity flavors to them.
Some do, yeah.
And
but
it takes
still.
me back to elementary school. It's a throwback candy.
Oh yeah, definitely. Speaking of sweethearts, when did sweethearts first get their shape? Give me a year.
1956.
Way off. 1901.
Holy smokes.
Exactly. In the Victorian era, mean-spirited Valentine's Day cards were called blank Valentines.
Anti-Valentines.
Vinegar Valentines.
Vinegar. 'cause
Vinegar.
It's bitter.
Yes.
That-
Very.
That's interesting.
From where was the oldest known Valentine's Day message sent? This is a pretty interesting, kind of funny.
I'm going to say something like Germany.
I'm not looking for a country. I'm looking for a place. It's kind of weird to say, but
The White House. I don't know.
it was sent to prison.
Oh. The first one?
For very first one.
Sent to prison.
Sent to a prison.
Ah.
When was the oldest known Valentine's Day message written? Just give me a year. Old.
Oh, man. Old 1506.
Not that far off. 1415.
Oh, yeah. That is old.
About how many roses are sent for Valentine's Day each year?
I'm going to say 5 million?
Higher.
10 million.
Higher.
30 million.
Higher. You're getting
50
close.
million.
50 million.
50 million
50 million roses.
Jeez.
On average, how many marriage proposals are there on every Valentine's Day?
On Valentine's Day?
On Valentine's Day.
Marriage proposals. Let's see. I'm going to say at least, let's see, per country, maybe 5,000. So then
More.
multiply it by however many countries we have. I'm going to say 50,000.
More.
Jeez. 500,000.
Less.
Okay.
Cut it at least by half.
I'm going to say,
A little more than half, actually.
okay, 35,000.
Okay, hold on.
Oh, no, 350,000.
Okay, again. You said 500,000.
500,000.
And I said,
half a mil.
cut it by at least a half. I said, oh, wait, no, actually, it's more than half. And you said 350,000.
I'm telling you, the surveys,
It's 220,000.
220,000
proposals every year on Valentine's Day, on average.
So, how many of those do you think say yes?
I gotta at least say 50%.
50%.
Yeah, I gotta say at least 50.
Yeah, me too.
Let's see, just do a few more. William Shakespeare mentions Valentine's Day in which of his plays?
Romeo and Juliet.
Nope, Hamlet.
I was going to say Hamlet, but then Romeo and Juliet's the lovey-dovey one.
How many heart-shaped boxes of chocolates are typically sold each Valentine's Day?
Oh, man, See's Candy alone. I'm going to say 5 million.
More.
15 million.
More.
40 million.
Close, 35 million.
Whoa.
This will be the last one, last one of the trivia. When was February 14th first declared to be Valentine's Day?
Like what year?
Yes, what year?
Oh, it's got to be like 1500s.
Yeah. You got the century.
Okay, 1565.
You're pretty close, 1537.
Okay.
So not too bad.
Is that the end of our trivia?
That's the end of the trivia. Now, there was one thing that I do want to talk before we move on. Just because, we talked about Fear and Review earlier about a lot of movies. The 30 best Valentine's movies to stream. If you're feeling the love, plus some cynical romance films if you're not. I'll run through them. I won't really have you, but, I'd like to hear like if you like, oh, I've seen that one. Mm-hmm. Nothing really like, won't get too deep into it. I'll go from 30 to 1 real quick.
Rapid fire.
Yeah. Let's see. Number 30. Where did you go? 30 is Wuthering Heights from 2011.
Haven't seen it.
Okay. Number 29, West Side Story from 2021.
Oh, the new one? Haven't seen it.
Okay. Number 28 is The Wedding Planner from 2001.
Nope.
Jennifer Lopez, Matthew McConaughey.
And Jennifer Lopez. Taco flavored kisses. South Park.
Yeah. All right. I know where that's from. Yeah. Number 27 is Waiting to Exhale from 1995. Whitney Houston. No. Okay.
Nope.
See, number 26, To All the Boys I've Loved Before, 2018.
Nope.
Me either. Number 25, I'm kind of curious if you Titanic, 1997.
We had Titanic at my grandpa's place, but it's when it was on VHS, and there was two VHS.
Of them. Yep.
And my grandpa only had the second one. So it was like all the disaster stuff.
Yeah. All the good parts, I guess.
But then it came out on Netflix, and I'm like, you know what? Let me give it a shot. And surprisingly,
you fell asleep.
No.
Oh, okay.
I enjoyed it.
Okay.
I thought it was a good story, even though there's a lot of hate on Titanic.
Yeah,
They're young kids in love. It's so stupid. But I'm like, but the way that the story's told, it's actually pretty entertaining.
James Cameron does a pretty good job, yeah.
I liked it.
Okay.
I don't know. I might be on the minority on that one, but I thought it was entertaining.
Number 24, The Spectacular Now, 2013.
No.
Okay. Number 23, She's Gotta Have It, 1986. Alrighty. Number 22, Set It Up from 2018.
Is that about volleyball?
It's a Netflix original.
Okay.
Let's see. Number 21, I think I've seen. No, I haven't seen this. Never mind. Pride and Prejudice from 2005.
Haven't seen it.
Okay, I heard it's long and boring. Number 20, Portrait of a Lady on Fire from 2019.
Nah.
Nope. Okay, it's a French one. Looks like.
Oui.
Number 19, The Philadelphia Story from 1940. Katharine Hepburn, Jimmy Stewart.
Sorry.
Okay. Number 18, The Notebook from 2004. Ryan Gosling and Rachel McAdams.
Sorry, no, but of course I know the meme. Tell me what you want. Just tell me what you want.
Yeah.
Tell me what you want. That's me every time I'm trying to figure out what's for lunch with the missus.
Let's see. Number 17 is In the Mood for Love from 2000. Looks like a Korean film, maybe? Let me see. It's not quite saying it. Might be a Chinese movie. Can't tell.
They're all the same. Moving forward.
Wow.
I'm just kidding.
Number 16. I've actually seen this one, and I actually like it. My Big Fat Greek Wedding from 2002.
No, I didn't see it.
Fucking hilarious.
I'm gonna have to watch it. I heard good things about it.
It's fucking hilarious. Number 15 is Love Lies Bleeding from 2024. Oh, I haven't seen it, but I've heard about this. It's two bodybuilders, female bodybuilders, that fall in love with each other.
Oh,
so I've heard it kind of back and forth kind of thing.
Okay.
A lot of Kristen Stewart's in it, and then there's Katie O'Brien, who is like the breakout star in it. She did like a couple smaller roles prior to this. This was like her big like main star kind of role. Number 14, The Idea of You from 2024.
No.
Nope. Yeah, never. Older woman, younger man. Oh, okay. Number 13, I've seen this one a few times, and I enjoy it. How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days.
No.
20, no,
Matthew
you never saw it?
McConaughey?
Matthew McConaughey.
No, I haven't seen it.
Matthew
I remember seeing the poster when it was popular.
Kate Hudson, Matthew McConaughey. That was actually really it was kind of like the beginning or one of the beginnings of like him being like the rom-com king kind of thing.
Right.
Number 12, Hitman for 2023.
Oh, I saw the poster for it. I didn't know that was like a love story.
Glenn Powell, mild-mannered professor moonlighting as a fake hitman for the FBI.
Yeah, it was supposed to be like a comedy slash dark comedy or
Directed
something.
by Richard Linklater. Oh, okay. Where are we at? Number 11, Her from 2013.
It's a guy falls in love with like a Siri type AI.
Yep,
type thing.
Joaquin Phoenix and the AI Samantha is voiced by Scarlett Johansson.
Oh, I didn't see it.
Yeah, I didn't either. But I saw the comedy one. What was the comedy one?
The comedy one.
There was a comedy version of it. What was it called? It starred Adam. Now I can't think of his name. The guy from like Workaholics, and Adam Devine. Mm-hmm. And it's like a comedy one of it, kind of the same thing. Like he falls in love with the Siri. Like at one point they even like have sex together, where he's like unplugging and plugging the charging cord back in. It's pretty funny. It really is. It's fucking hilarious. Number 10, The Half of It from 2020.
No,
I had never seen it either.
I haven't even seen the full of it.
Yeah. Number 9, Fire of Love from 2022. Oh, it's a documentary. Huh. Okay. Number 8, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
I have seen that one. Jim Carrey
Yes.
and Kate Winslet.
Kate Winslet. Yep.
That one was a trip. I remember watching it. And I'm like, I'm tripped out.
I think this was like his first time doing like serious stuff.
Like a serious drama type thing.
Yeah.
It was very sad.
Well, Mark Ruffalo and Elijah Wood are in it.
Have you seen it?
I have not.
I recommend it.
Okay.
If you're feeling all kinds of emotions,
Let's see,
it's an intense film.
It says the only film on this list takes place on Valentine's Day. Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind follows Joel, Jim Carrey, and Clementine, Kate Winslet, two former lovers who undergo a procedure to erase each other from their memories after a painful breakup. Carrey effectively plays against the type as the heartbroken Joel, but the movie belongs to Winslet, who delivers one of her best performances as a character who seems like a classic manic pixie dream girl, but then turns the trope on its head. Emotional, raw, and deeply human, Eternal Sunshine is a parable about why love is worth remembering even when it hurts.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting. She's a very good actress in that film compared to like say her role in Titanic.
Okay.
It's like a completely different person in Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. Yeah, you should watch it if you ever get a chance.
Right.
I think it's good.
Number 7 is Challengers. Came out 2024 with Zendaya, where it's famous for her having like a threesome on screen or something like that, where she's like a tennis player.
Oh, okay.
I basically literally the only thing I've heard from it is that she kisses two guys. They're starting to do it. They're trying to get a threesome going with her and two other guys, and I don't think it ever goes through with it. But I remember like that being like the big thing is like, oh, she's on screen with two guys. There's a threesome being starting on scene and
then I remember you called me that night and you were like, oh yeah, she didn't go through with it. I'm very disappointed.
Pretty much, yeah, ruined the whole fucking movie.
Continue.
Number 6, be funny if you've seen this one. Brokeback Mountain, 2005.
I can honestly say no, I have not seen it.
I thought you I can honestly say I love this movie and I've seen it every day since. No, but actually I've heard that it's actually a very, very good movie. I mean, I think it won Oscars. So I mean,
it won some awards. From what I remember.
Won a bunch of awards. Let's see but I haven't seen it either. So number 5, I think I've seen this one once. Bridget Jones's Diary from 2001. Renee Zellweger. Colin Firth.
Back when she was like a good actress.
She's
before
always been.
Before she did all her surgeries. No, she has always been a good actress. She did a bunch of stuff on her face, and then she looked like a completely different person.
She just did some Botox. I don't think she really had much done to her face other than Botox. I think you might be thinking of Meg Ryan. Meg Ryan did a ton of stuff to her face, and she's unrecognizable. Like she's in the latest Hellman's mayonnaise commercial where they reenacted the whole When Harry Met Sally with Billy Crystal.
Oh,
You ever saw that commercial? I'll show it to you after.
Sure.
But yeah, she's unrecognizable, I think. See, number 4, The Big Sick in 2017.
Nope.
Kumail Nanjiani and Zoe Kazan. Okay. Number 3. I hope you've seen this. Beauty and the Beast, 1991, the animated one.
You know, I remember watching pieces of it either when it came on TV,
right?
But
yeah.
To say if I can remember watching it from beginning to end, I can't remember watching it from beginning to end.
I know I've seen it at least once from beginning to end, but I mean,
I want
to remember anything about it. I mean, I think I've probably been to Disneyland a little too many times, so I probably know too much about it. But I mean, I can't say what I remember from it is from the movie. It's
the only thing I remember is the "Be Our Guest" song.
Right. Yeah.
That stands out, and then something about a rose petals are like falling apart in the little glass.
thing. that something about like that's the curse, or that's something about like when all the rose petals fall off, basically Beast will die or something like that.
Something like that. I should watch that.
Yeah.
one.
Right. Number 2, 500 Days of Summer, 2009.
No, I haven't seen
Joseph
it.
Gordon-Levitt and Zoe Deschanel.
I heard it was good.
I think that was one of the, like those. It was kind of like an indie film, but it made its way to being like one of the most profitable movies.
Yeah.
And the number
one.
Number 1.
I know exactly what it is.
Okay, then what is it?
So one I can't get enough of. 50 Shades of Grey.
You can't get enough of that one, huh?
No, it was a joke, man. Relax.
Okay.
That was the Cervez talking.
Yeah, I guess so. No, it was 10 Things I Hate About You from 1999.
Is that also Matthew McConaughey?
It is not. It is Heath Ledger.
Oh.
Yes.
I've never seen it.
It has Julia Stiles, Heath Ledger, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Larissa Olinek, and Gabrielle Union. It says maybe the best Shakespeare to teen comedy adaptation, and yes, there's a surprising amount of competition. 10 Things I Hate About You reimagines the taming of the shrew with sharp wit, hyper-articulate 90s dialogue, and endlessly charming performances. Heath Ledger's swoon-worthy rendition of Can't Take My Eyes Off of You remains one of the most... Heath Ledger's swoon-worthy rendition of Can't Take My Eyes Off of You remains one of cinema's most iconic romantic gestures, while Julia Stiles' fiery portrayal of Kat Strafford culminates in her tearful, unforgettable recital of the titular poem. Plus, the cast is a treasure trove of future stars: Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Gabrielle Union, and even Allison Janney, who steals every scene as a widely inappropriate guidance counselor who turned erotic novelist. You can watch it on Disney Plus.
Okay. Well, that was news to me.
Yeah.
That was news to me.
Yes, it is. So, hell, I'm too tired. I'm kind of tired and loopy for a segue. So, Simple Times News. Okay, Andrew, before you do yours news articles, and before we even get into the news, I want to set the standard, okay? Please follow this guy whose name is Leon Bibb out of Cleveland.
Leon Bibb, got it.
Leon Bibb.
As we said, it is Valentine's Day, one of the busiest days for restaurants as well. And if you're making last-minute dinner plans, you may have a hard time getting in some of the titties in some of the city's top spots. We checked around at some local restaurants. Many of them, such as Cleveland restaurants Blue Point, Pier W, Dante, and Fahrenheit, are all booked tonight.
Did you catch that? Did you catch that little blunder that he had?
Of course I did.
Did you?
Sick
Are you
freak.
sure? Are you sure? Should we play it again?
It is Valentine's Day, one of the busiest days for restaurants as well. And if you're making last-minute dinner plans, you may have a hard time getting in some of the titties in some of the city's top spots. We checked around at some local.
Yes, Leon, I too am having difficulty getting into the titties.
The cities. You sick freak. Just when I thought you were going to keep it clean, You always bring some disgusting
It's Valentine's Day.
stuff
The
to
fuck you mean I'm going to make it clean?
This is Simple Times News. This is a professional
And
segment.
that guy was a professional news anchor out of Cleveland.
He's having a hard time.
Well, yeah, he's having a hard time getting in them titties.
Well, we know what was on his mind.
Yeah. Anyways, now I believe it's your turn for Simple Times News.
It sure is. Now that we can get past that filth and that smut.
Well, remember, you got to set the standard.
I do.
And Leon Bibb definitely set that standard for us. Bring on the titties.
And you keep going. You know what? Let me play the theme music. I got to start this over, okay? I want it to sound professional, all right? Marcelo, hit that music.
All right. With my titty.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I put Marcelo on mute. No, I didn't. Okay. This next news article comes to us from our very good friends, NPR.
Okay.
This was national news. It's
NPR, where we don't say titties, even though we just said titties on air.
okay. You just had to get that out of your system. Okay. This is national news. Now, it's not so much news. This article was published December 29th.
Okay.
But I think it's worthy of discussing.
Alrighty.
This one, here's the headline. You ready for the headline?
Give me the headline.
2 men were found dead from exposure after looking for Sasquatch.
Oh, God.
This article is written by Chandelier Duster. 2 men from Oregon who went missing after going on a search for Sasquatch have been found dead, Washington state officials announced Saturday. Now, Marcelo, you may not know what a Sasquatch is, but for those of you listening who are wondering what the H-E double hockey sticks is, a Sasquatch is Bigfoot.
Yes.
Continuing, the men, both from Portland, were reported missing by a family member.
Also known as a skunk ape.
Skunk ape, never heard that one before. Reported, so a family member was like, hey, my family's missing.
Oh my God.
On Christmas Day, they went missing. I guess they were trying to look for a present. And were set to return for a legendary creature. Crap! They went missing, okay? They were in Skamania County. A search was launched, and a vehicle associated with the 2 men was found off the road near Willard Wash. After a 3-day search involving more than 60 people, the bodies of both men, 37 and 59 years old, were found in Gifford Pincut National Forest, located in the southwestern part of Washington State in a heavily wooded area, according to the Skamania County Sheriff's Office. Can you believe that? 37 years old? That's like 2 years away from you, 1 year away from me. So basically, someone our age, get this, Marcelo, someone our age is like, hey, let's go look for Sasquatch.
Yeah.
Someone our age. They probably have a podcast.
Probably.
Let's see. Continuing. Their cause of death appears to be because of exposure based on weather conditions and ill preparedness, the sheriff's office said. I'm guessing they froze to death.
Something probably, yeah.
Got really cold. Maybe that bronchitis turned into pneumonia.
Yeah.
The area had faced rounds of snow and rain with temperatures in the 30s across the Cascades, and the days leading up to the reported missing. Okay. Sasquatch, commonly known as Bigfoot, is a large, this is, for those of you who don't know what Sasquatch is, it's a large, hairy figure that resembles a human and is thought to live in northwestern parts of the U.S. and Canada. Keep in mind, this is NPR reporters writing this stuff, okay? The existence of Bigfoot has been debated for decades, and many have reported sightings of the creature. More than 700 reports of Bigfoot sightings in Washington state have been submitted to the Bigfoot Field Researchers Organization.
Oh, yeah.
BFRO.
Yep.
Bigfoot Field Researchers Organization.
Oh, yeah.
I am stunned. Is Bigfoot real?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. But an organization.
Oh, yeah. No, yeah.
They believe it's out there.
Oh, yeah. There's a literal organization for just about any kind of cryptid that you can think of.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty insane.
This is my favorite part, and this is the last paragraph.
Okay.
Are you ready? This is the icing on the cake.
Okay.
In Skamania County, harming Bigfoot is punishable by a $1,000 fine and can include jail time, according to the county's Chamber of Commerce. A law meant to protect the mysterious creature and to prevent hunters with large beards from accidentally getting shot. And that's how the article ends. Okay.
So in other words, if you're out there hunting Bigfoot and you actually shoot one, well, it's tough titties for you. You're going to jail.
Aw, come on. Always with the jokes. But before we move forward, I just want to ask a simple question.
Okay. Uh-huh.
One of the guys that died, 37 years old.
Yes.
If somebody who was 59 years old said to you, Marcelo, hey, do you want to come with me and look for Sasquatch? Like, I know he's out there. We could be the ones to find him. Would you?
Is this guy a stranger, or is he someone that we knew?
Let's say someone that you worked with, so you know what he's capable of. You know, decent person because he has a job.
I mean, I'm down for the adventure.
So you would go.
I'd go, but I would definitely be asking, okay, how are we going to do this? Are we camping on the ground? Are you going to have an RV? Are we going to driving? Are we going to stop at motels? Do you have an area of what you want to see, or are we just going to wander? Because I mean, if we're just going to wander and sleep on the ground, nah, my guy. Just let me know what you find when you come back. But if you're like, no, there's a motel around these woods that I want to go to, cool, let's go do it. Let's make an adventure out of it, I'll go out in the middle of the night. I'll fucking, put on what kind of, I'll make whatever kind of Bigfoot call, whatever it is. We'll go and do it. Because not that I believe in him, but I'm down for good paranormal kind of shit. But
that's very commendable.
Right? Yeah.
That's level-headed thinking there.
I'm
down for the adventure.
Yeah.
Because I just want to go do something.
Yeah.
And as long as we have everything we need to be safe about this, I'm down.
Make it a fun time, You
know what? I respect that. I respect that.
Go out. Now imagine we go out there with a 4-pack of those Cervezas Lomitas.
Well, if I drink one, then lights out forever, my guy.
You're seeing Bigfoot yourself. You're going, I'm Bigfoot.
Like, Bigfoot. And it's just my shadow. Now,
there he is over here. Why is he following me? I can't. If I face the moon, he's behind me. But if my back's to the moon, he's in front of me. I don't know how he does it.
The last question.
you find a bunch of moss in a log, you throw it over yourself, you're running around, Bigfoot,
How many cervezas did he drink? Half a can?
Yeah. He's only had a sip.
He just likes to hold it. Have you seen Back to the Future?
Of course I have.
When the part 3, when they make the wake up juice for Doc.
It's been a while since I've seen the third one.
He's so depressed that the lady he was with broke up with him because I guess she found out he was from the future and she was pissed off and she thought that he was just making all this kind of stuff up just to get in her pants, so to speak. And so he's all depressed, goes to the bar. He didn't take one drink, but he's just standing there. And he finally takes a shot of something, falls over on a table flips over. He's passed out from one drink.
Yeah.
And so then the bartender makes him a wake up juice.
But
anyway, somewhere in that, he's just holding it because he's so depressed. And they say that line. He just likes to hold it. Anyway, imagine me with an open beer container, just holding it, and I'm looking all drunk out of my mind, and someone walks by. What's wrong with that guy? Nothing. He just likes to hold it. Last question I have for you, Marcelo.
Right.
So the other guy that died was what, 59 years old?
Is that what it was?
What would go so wrong in your life that you would say at 59 years old, you go up to a young 37-year-old person that
27. Was he 37?
37.
37? Oh, okay.
That maybe has a, relatively popular podcast.
Okay. And
you go, "Hey, young buckaroo, let's go look for Sasquatch." Like, what would happen in your life to where at 59 years old, you would want to go looking for Sasquatch?
Some guys just feel like, it's just the right time, I guess. Maybe he was retired and just thought, let's go, I want, I basically kind of like I want to go on an adventure. Let's go do this on an adventure, but it just wasn't planned out thoroughly,
See, this is why I need you for Simple Times podcast, because you're level-headed. Yeah, this guy he's like 60s next year, and I haven't done anything great in life. I
wants to make a name for himself.
I want to be the one that finds a Bigfoot, but instead he found a big grave.
Yep. But what's actually funny...
I was trying so hard not to laugh.
What's funny is that you say grave because, my story involves death as well. So let me go ahead and try to hit it with my left titty. So this comes to us from the New York Post. Our friends over at the New York Post.
Are really good friends.
Right?
We're really close.
Monica Long is a single mother of 3. Okay. Now, before I read this, I'm gonna kind of put it to give you the build up, like what basically the points before I go into the actual detail of it. So actually, you know what? Let me put it this way. Since you have small kids,
I do.
Let me go ahead and put it in this perspective, okay? Let's say it's just you. Larissa's out of the house. She takes Desmond with her because we'll say the 2 younger ones are with you.
Yeah.
You're out. Let's say you're out in the living room. You guys are playing around. You guys are having fun, and then you're like, "Hey, I gotta take a leak." And you're like, "Hey, I'll be right back, guys. I'm just gonna go to the bathroom. I'll come back." So you leave. What, maybe a minute, 2 minutes, if that? Okay.
I could get it done in a minute.
Let's say, okay. And then you come back, and then all of a sudden, Brielle and Clark are covered in dirt.
In a minute?
In a minute. Covered in dirt. Like you see it on their clothes, in their hands.
They look like
on their
Pigpen.
face.
They look like Pigpen from the Peanuts.
As if they were rolling around literally in dirt. And just within that minute or two that you were gone, how would you feel about that? What kind of questions would you have?
It would be, what the F?
Uh-huh.
That's the main one.
Okay.
And then you'd hear me yelling, like, what are you doing?
Okay.
Why are you dirty?
Mm-hmm.
Because I hate it when my kids get dirty.
Right. But you wouldn't question where the dirt came from?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. Like, what is this dirt? What?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Just, within a minute, where did this dirt come from in a clean house?
Oh, man. Yeah.
Right?
I'd wonder that.
So,
yeah.
well, Monica Long had the same questions.
No way.
So the single mother of 3 claims she left her 2 toddlers, aged 3 and 2. Now I know yours are older, but still, okay, 3 and 2, alone for a moment in early January so she could use the bathroom while prepping for a birthday party. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
The Coloradian, because they were from Colorado, was only in there for several minutes because women tend to take longer than in the bathroom. Understandably, not saying anything bad about it. But when she returned, she saw that the boys were playing in what looked like white dirt.
White dirt?
White dirt. During the 4 minutes or so she had been gone, the 2 hellions had managed to smear the soot all over their faces and bodies and the floor. Okay.
Okay, I'm trekking.
I was like, where did this dirt come from? Recalled Long, who vacuumed up the mess. Then days later, she discovered an empty container on the ground that housed their grandfather's ashes.
Oh no!
And then
Grandpa.
And then, just like you, the horrifying truth dawned on her. The dirt was his cremated remains.
Wow.
Says they got him and they dumped him out all over my carpet, wailed the distraught mom in a TikTok video, by the way, while holding a cross-shaped urn.
Wow.
And I didn't realize it was Pawpaw, and I vacuumed him up.
Not Pawpaw.
Pawpaw. She even speculated that the tiny terrors may have engaged in post-mortem cannibalism, claiming they may have eaten some of him too because one of them had the cap in his mouth.
Ew.
The scene evoked the similar horror of the cat using grandma's ashes as a litter box in Ben Stiller and Robert De Niro's 2000 comedy Meet the Parents, or perhaps in this case, Eat the Parents. As for how her children accessed the ashes, Long said Pawpaw was on a shelf out of their reach, but they're climbers. They climbed their little way up and got a hold of him.
Yeah, kids do climb everything.
She speculated that the little ash holes then used their mouths to unscrew the cap. They're just getting into everything these days, said the mortified mom, who said she didn't know whether to laugh or cry. By contrast, Pawpaw would have seen the humor in her son's remains desecration, Long claimed. Would he have found the story funny? Absolutely, the parent said in a follow-up video. He would have definitely gotten a kick out of his whole ordeal. The TikTok commenters also saw the funny side. One viewer exclaiming, "I'm sorry, but the snort laugh I let out when you zoomed in on what's left of Pawpaw." And another wrote, "I don't know Pawpaw, but I bet he would find this hilarious." Pawpaw is somewhere laughing his tail off, said a third, and he's not in ashes. He lives on in those who know and loved him. And now because you shared him all with us, sprinkle that dust bucket somewhere lovely. Long's father passed away in 2020, also had shenanigan stories of his own from being a principal, he said. He was a Vietnam War veteran and a school teacher for many, many years, recalled Long, adding that he was a follower of Jesus as well. Fortunately, that's not the last of her late dad's remains either. The rest are buried in a veteran's cemetery in Texas, she told People. Long said that when she alerted his wife, Mama, of what transpired, she rest assured her, "Don't worry, we have more, Pawpaw."
That sounds disgusting. Oh man. You know, do you I've never had anything cremated, like a pet or a family member. Never. What about you?
Yeah, all of my pets. Herbie's cremated at my mom's. Bailey's over there too. Freeway. Louie's over there as well. So the pets we have at my mom's place on the shelves. My grandpa Ralph, my grandma Renee are cremated, and they're over at Green Hills, next to each other, I believe. Let's see. My cousin Stephen was cremated, and they sprinkled his ashes out at sea. Let's see. Was my Aunt Karen cremated? My Aunt Karen may have been cremated as well. But yeah, I mean, there's, I've had, there's a bunch of cremations.
All right. Yeah. In my family, we don't have any. It's just, I guess, not part of our tradition, I guess.
Could be.
But, we did burials for my great grandma and my mom.
Well, you can also still do a burial type service when they're cremated as well. Like if you go to Green Hills, how would you call it? The main, that big building, not like when you're in the parking lot and you have like the chapel, I guess.
It's like a chapel, yeah.
Right, but then like you drive like actually into the cemetery and then you hit like another, not really mausoleum, but like a bigger building where like you can go inside and all that stuff. I can't think of that name, but that building.
I think I know what you're talking about.
So if you're facing it and to the left, there's smaller plots, and that's where you could bury cremated people. They have like a smaller area where it's like, instead of having like 6 feet and all that, like the bigger areas like the regular graves.
Is it like a little circle?
No, you can actually get like a full-on plaque, but it's like instead of like each plaque being like 6 feet apart, they're usually like maybe like 2 or 3 feet apart because you can just put the urn in the ground and bury it that way.
Got it. But man, having your kids get into that and then rubbing it all over their faces
and even possibly
inhaling the dust.
Good old taste of pawpaw. Can't get that taste out of your mouth.
I don't know.
Imagine you running there, get pawpaw's ashes out of your mouth.
I mean, I like that they saw the humor in it. That's kind of nice, heartwarming. But the more I kept hearing you talking about the story, the more I got that icky feeling in my throat, like
got some pawpaw in your throat.
Oh yeah, he's coating my throat. Ugh, disgusting. Marcelo, I need a good chuckle.
I think I got what you need.
You got what I need? Because
I do.
I need some of that. I need some of that laughing gas.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's time for...
You need to go from pawpaw to ha-ha?
Yes. It's time for Jokes with Jefe.
So I got 2 categories of jokes that are all Valentine's related.
2, not 1?
Not one, got 2.
2?
So the first one will be pro Valentine.
All right. Pro Valentine.
So Valentine jokes and puns make you laugh out loud.
You hit me with your best shot.
This is coming from the Funky Pigeon.
Funky Pigeon.
Funkypigeon.com. Classic Valentine's jokes. What do the stamps say to the envelope on Valentine's Day? I'm stuck on you.
Wow.
How did the phone propose to his girlfriend?
With a ring.
He gave her a ring. Yep.
Yeah.
Who will always have a date on Valentine's Day?
February 14th.
The calendar. Why did the skeleton break up with his girlfriend before Valentine's Day? His heart wasn't in it.
Oh.
What did the calculator say to his Valentine?
I don't know.
You can count on me.
Boo.
What did one grape say to the other grape on Valentine's Day?
I don't know.
Will you be wine? Wow. Why did the couple's photo go to jail? It was framed. What did one flame say to the other?
You ignite me.
We're a perfect match. How did the octopus make his girlfriend laugh?
With 10 tickles.
Yes, sir. What do you call a romance novelist with writer's block? Hopelessly romantic. For some food-themed Valentine's puns, why did the orange go out with a banana? Because they found each other very appealing.
I knew it had a peel in there.
What did one melon say to the other on Valentine's Day? You're one in a million. What did the pickle say to impress his Valentine?
Something with dill in it.
Kind of a big deal.
I knew it.
Why did the cookie cry?
Because it crumbled?
Because it couldn't find its sweetie?
Like wheat?
It's sweetie? I don't...
It's sweet.
Hey, it's here. It's not me. I didn't write it. What did the avocado say to his Valentine?
Something with guacamole.
You guac my world.
Guac my world. Wow.
What do the peanuts say to the cashew? I'm nuts about you.
Come on.
What did the sushi say? What did the sushi say to ask out its date?
Let's go on a roll.
Want to roll with me? Why did the tomato turn red on Valentine's Day? Because it saw the salad dressing.
Come on.
Why did the chef meet his girlfriend? He was in the right place at the right time.
THYME.
And the place, they were spelled different. PLAICE. So is there maybe like another spice called place?
Probably.
Okay.
That I don't know of.
Yeah, I don't know either. What did the coffee say to its Valentine? You're beautiful. I love you a latte.
You kill me.
If those weren't cheesy enough, we got some cheesy ones here. Are you French? Because Eiffel for you.
Eiffel?
Eiffel.
Oh, Eiffel. Like Eiffel Tower.
And also like I fell for you. I fell. Because I fell for you.
I fell for you?
Eiffel.
Eiffel.
Okay. If you were a vegetable, you'd be a cucumber.
Cucumber.
Do you have a plaster? Because I just scraped my knee falling for you.
You should use that one.
If kisses were snowflakes, I'd send you a blizzard.
I have a coworker. He tries to be funny every now and then. He came up to me. He's like, "Hey man, do you have a map? Like a map? Like, what do you mean? You got a phone?" He's like, "No, you need a map because I'm lost in your eyes." I was like, "Get out of here!"
And then you took him to the back of the postal truck.
No.
Okay. If the postal truck's rocking, don't come a knocking, or what? Are you a candle? Because you light up my life. Is your name Google? Because you have everything I've been searching for. I must be a snowflake because I've fallen for you. Can I follow you home? Because my parents always told me to follow my dreams.
Man, we're going to get so much simple shout-outs. Everyone's going to be like, "Oh, I'm falling in love with Marcelo."
If you were a triangle, you'd be a cute one. Get it? Because the different angles.
How cute is this one?
Yes, it is.
Less than 95 degrees.
Less than 90 degrees. 90 degrees.
It's been a long time.
Yeah, I'm
since
sure.
I've been in geometry.
Do you have a map? Because I keep getting lost in your eyes. That was literally number 10 on here. So, and then for the last one, the single Valentine's Day jokes for singles.
Okay? For singles.
For singles.
So for you.
Yes, exactly.
For people like you.
Yep. What's the difference between the calendar and a single person on Valentine's Day? Calendar has a date.
It's a repeat.
What's a single person's favorite type of flower?
A cauliflower.
Self-rising. Self-raising, it says here, but self-rising I think is really better.
Okay.
If you're sad about being alone on Valentine's Day, just remember, nobody loves you on any other day either.
Oh.
What do single people call Valentine's Day? Independence Day. Why do the single candles celebrate Valentine's Day? It found itself enlightening. Roses are red, violets are blue. A box of chocolates for one costs less than a dinner for two.
True.
Unless you have the Jack in the Box app, in which case I've gotten a lot of food for a little.
Nice.
You play those apps, you play that phone, you get those deals. I guarantee you'll be saving some money. What's the best thing about being single on Valentine's Day? You don't have to pretend like you like a gift for you. You don't have to pretend to like a gift that you actually. Wow. You don't have to pretend to like a gift for. Wow. What the hell? You don't have to pretend to like a gift you don't actually want. Third time's a charm. Got that one out right. 8 planets, 204 countries, 809 islands, 7 seas, 8.2 billion people, and still no date for you on Valentine's Day. Why do single people love Valentine's Day? Because they don't have to share the box of chocolates for two. And finally, what's a single person's mantra on Valentine's Day? Love thyself.
Dude, that reminds me. You're like the biggest Valentine hater I've ever met.
Yeah.
On the social medias, on Instagram, you kept posted all this stuff like it was a picture of a woman's razor blade with a bunch of hair on it. And
well, that's not really being a hater. That just kind of, talking about, all the hairs on it, saying this is what all the February women's razors on February 13th.
but you're a Valentine hater. And then you reposted all kinds of Valentine hate.
And then I also posted one where it's like a lady taking a break, having to smoke, like hunched over, exhausted, saying "wax ladies" on February 13th. And then I think I posted another one where it said, where it was like, "Oh, what are you doing on Valentine's Day? Working. It's Friday. The fuck."
You just hate Valentine's Day.
But speaking of being against Valentine's Day, I got anti-Valentine's Day jokes.
Okay. Let's wrap it up. As soon as you hit one bad joke, I'm cutting you off.
Cupid called. He's taking the day off.
I'm cutting you off.
I thought these had to be jokes, but they are just like quick little
one-liners?
saying kind of things that don't really.
I'll give you one more. The first one that pops up. Let me hear it.
Forget the arrows. I'm already hitting the bullseye of happiness.
All right, I'll give you one more chance. That one sucked. Whatever's right there on your screen right now.
Roses are red, violets are blue. I'd rather be single. How about you?
No. We want to gain followers, not lose them.
I'm trying. V is for vodka, not Valentine. I'm telling you, these were supposed to be a lot better.
Last one, right here.
Okay.
Last.
Once upon a time, I realized I don't need a prince to slay my dragons.
Oh, okay. I got to end on this.
Okay.
Speaking of dragons.
Okay.
So, quick funny story. I was picking up my daughter from school. And we're sitting in the car, me and my wife. And I was like, hey, I don't want to get out of the car yet because I don't want to be standing around and mingling with all these weirdo parents. I don't know anything about them. You know, I only pick my child up once a week.
Okay.
Can we just sit in the car so no one bothers us? And she's like, fine. So we're sitting there. Some lady walks up to the driver's side of the car. My wife's in the driver's side and she's in the driver's seat. This lady gives my wife a book. I can't remember what it's called, but on the side of the book, there's like little dragons on like where the pages go.
On the spine?
No, not on the spine. The pages side.
Oh, okay.
Opposite the spine.
Okay.
There's like, what do you call it? Outlines. What is it called when it's black? Silhouettes.
Oh, okay.
Silhouettes of dragons on the outside where the pages are. It was some book about dragons. The lady goes, "You like books about dragons?" It's an old lady. Think maybe your mom's age. Okay.
Okay.
She's like, "Here's that. You like books about dragons? Here's that book I was telling you about." And she gives my wife this book. It looks like a brand new book. Like she just got it from Barnes and Noble. Had dragons on it. I can't remember the title, but all I remember is seeing all kinds of dragons on it. And the lady goes, "Just to let you know, at the end, there's some very intense sex scene. I don't know if that offends you or not." And my wife goes, No, it's fine. It's fine. And she goes, "Yeah. So once you're done with this book, you can pass it along." And I was like, what in the world is happening right now? I'm just acting cool, on my phone. I'm like, what? Who is my wife talking to over here? And so then I asked my wife, like, what the hell is going on? What's this book about dragons? She's making an emphasis on the sex scenes at the very end. What is she like? Oh, you'll like how this lady gets plowed. Like, what? It's an old lady. Like, what's happening? And she's like, oh, yeah. My wife says. So she asked me if I like books about dragons. And I was thinking that she meant like a kid's book about dragons. Because that lady's there picking up her grandchild.
Right.
And Larissa's always there picking up our daughter. And then they're always there at the same time. And there's this very popular book called Dragons Eat Tacos.
Okay.
So my wife was thinking a dragon book, like a kid's book. Because dragons are fairy tale creatures, and usually fairy tales are associated with kids.
How to Train Your Dragon. Yeah.
So, but this lady, some thick novel, New York Times bestseller. It said it right there on the cover. And she emphasized the sex scenes in the book.
Was it called How to Train Your Bad Dragon?
Holy crap.
Which is the double entendre, because there's actually a dildo company called Bad Dragon that does like dragon
there
dildos.
You go again with the dildos, Marcelo. Why every episode has to contain a dildo for you? Come on.
First it has to contain a dildo, then it has to contain titties. So which is it?
Trying to keep this PG-13, man.
Nah, no, we go hard R on this one.
Dang. Anyway.
As hard as them dragons are, you know what I mean? Know what I'm saying?
Come on. All right. I just want to say thank you all for listening to this nearly 2-hour episode. If you want to write to us, if you want to say, man, that Marcelo, he's a disgusting guy, you just write to simpletimespodcast@gmail.com. Send us your love mail, comments, questions, whatever you want. And we'll respond, and we'll shout it out on the podcast. Follow us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, X. You can also find the show on YouTube. Maybe some of you are listening to this on YouTube. Like, subscribe, follow, all that stuff. Wherever you listen to this podcast, we're trying to grow our audience here. Come on. Marcelo needs a new pair of shoes. And if we can get some ad revenue or whatever, we can get Marcelo some new pair of shoes. What else?
Before Mama meets Jesus tonight.
That was great. Christmas shoes?
Yeah.
We need to get Marcelo some Christmas shoes.
But before we go, since speaking of things to suck on.
Oh, come on.
How about some Valentine's candy real quick? Just top 10 Valentine's candy.
Oh yeah. You got 2 minutes. I'll give you 2 minutes.
Number 10, Starburst Fave Reds Conversation Hearts. So think of like the
Starburst?
No, like the what we just talked about earlier. Sweethearts. The Sweethearts candy, but Starburst, and they have things written on them.
Sounds way better than the other ones.
Yeah, you're right. Number 9, they call it for the best bark, is Chocour Strawberries and Cream Bark. Which actually doesn't sound that bad. You can get them at Aldi, apparently.
All right.
Number 8 is Lint Lindor Strawberries and Cream.
Lint?
Lint. Lindt.
The stuff that like collects in your belly button?
Lint.
Oh.
That lint.
Oh, got
Lint.
Got it.
It's Lindt. You ever heard of that chocolate company? Lind?
I've heard of Lindora.
No, Lind. Yeah. Lindor, but Lindor.
Oh.
That's
okay.
full name. Get those at Target.
Yeah.
Number 7 is Ghirardelli Chocolate Hearts Creme Brulee.
Ooh,
can't go wrong with Ghirardelli at all. Get
caramel.
Those at Walmart.
Walmart.
Number 6, you can get Chocour donut-shaped chocolates.
Donut-shaped chocolate. Sounds good.
Yeah, get it all at Aldi. Let's see, number 5, one of my favorite candies, I guess. You could say Sour Patch Kids. But these are the Love Me Not candies. Looks like they're 2 colors, red and like a purple. So like Love Me Not.
Sounds good.
Get those on Amazon. Number 4 is Hershey Chocolates Dipped Strawberry Kisses. It's strawberry filled chocolates.
That sounds good.
Yeah,
that sounds really
I don't
good.
mind. Get those at Target. All right, so getting back to number 3,
You got 1 minute.
All right, Ghirardelli Chocolate Hearts Lava Cake.
Sounds good. I like cake.
Yeah, they're shaped like hearts, and they got chocolate on the inside too. Number 2.
I like how you just turned into like a commercial spokesperson.
Right?
You got chocolate on the outside.
Got chocolate on the
too.
outside. Ghirardelli.
At your local Target.
It's that one. Yeah, Target. Number 2 is Haribo Sweet and Sour Hearts. You can get those at Walmart. And the number 1 best candy. And of course,
Snickers.
No. God.
Mars.
No.
Almond Joy.
No, but I do love an Almond Joy.
Me too.
No, I mean, you can't go any wrong with Reese's.
I knew it.
The pink hearts. But people were saying, if you look at them upside down, don't they look like scrotums?
Come on,
It's not
Marcelo.
me. It's the fucking candy, dude.
Every single time.
Come suck on a Reese's pink heart.
Look, what you do in your spare time, that's between you and you.
Almost looks like you're hanging brain there. You can get those at Target. 10 out of 10 sporks.
Follow, leave us a 5-star rating. This is Simple Times Podcast. Listen to Marcelo's other podcast, A Fear in Review. Good stuff happening over there. He just put out his new episode. I will put a link in the show notes. And listen to Faith in Politics with Andrew Reyes if you don't want to go to hell. Anyway, that will do it for today's episode. So, Marcelo. Scrotum.